Welcome back. Thank you for staying with the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. The Department of Health and Wellness is informing family members of returning nationals to St. Lucia from Dominica, Martinique and Guadeloupe via Express des Îles today, Friday, the 20th of March and Sunday, the 22nd of March, to refrain from visiting the ferry terminal to pick up loved ones as they will be placed in quarantine as per protocol. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar George indicated that quarantine will take place from Friday the 20th at 6 p.m. The Starfish Hotel will open its doors as the island's first large-scale quarantine site. It will facilitate a 14-day mandatory quarantine of some 90 returning nationals.
The numbers coming in today and on Sunday are quite big. So we will be in the initial phase, everybody will be under quarantine at the hotel. There we will be doing the necessary triage and screening, and moving forward a decision will be made. But everyone coming from areas of high risk will be quarantined.
Tourism Minister Dominic Fede provided an update on the current quarantine capacity on island as the government prepares for the return of St. Lucians from the COVID-19 epicenter, Europe.
Very timely, as we have today, some 90 St. Lucians returning from Martinique. And so the first facility, Starfish, will be open at 7 p.m. tonight. And the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Health are working together to get this facility ready and comfortable for the returning nationals that are coming. We anticipate during the course of the week as well, many St. Lucian nationals will be returning to our shores in a very high-risk part of the world, the United Kingdom. So those two facilities, which will give us about over 200 rooms, will come in handy for a managed quarantine and isolation process.
St. Lucia's borders will remain open to all nationals wishing to return home. The St. Lucia Manufacturers Association seized the opportunity at the COVID-19 response press conference to inform the nation that local manufacturers have the capacity to ensure accessibility to goods and food security. The association says employment opportunities are also available to those who may now be out of a job given the slowdown in tourism. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
The St. Lucia Manufacturers Association seized the opportunity to let the nation know that with the increasing demand for locally produced products, their doors would be open to persons who had been laid off from various jobs to gain employment.
There's also an additional opportunity for additional staff. So some of the service sectors who would be laying off some staff, because our demand in manufacturing would be higher, it's a great opportunity so your staff could come in to source employment through the manufacturing sector to assist us all.
Representative for the St. Lucia Manufacturers Association, Margaret Daisy, says manufacturers are able to produce the quantity and the quality of products the country needs.
For us as manufacturers, I think it's a great opportunity for us to actually deliver on what we've been promising. We have the capacity to, especially the food manufacturing sector, we have the capacity to produce on demand. We also, in terms of quality, through our HACCP certification, our ISO, and also our local Bureau of Standards, we have, in terms of quality, we are already practicing a lot of the hygiene requirements. And with this new COVID-19 initiative for extra hygiene, we've implemented a lot of extra hygiene methods to ensure that our quality and in terms of all what we produce is of a high standard.
Export of local products will continue. However, given the crisis now facing St. Lucia due to COVID-19, the country will be given top priority.
We will continue to produce as per demand or ahead of that, and we will also continue to export because our export markets are also demanding a lot of the products. So we are available. Obviously, we will try to give first priority to St. Lucia, but again, we have the capacity, so feel free. It's a great opportunity for us and the government.
Supermarkets have been running out of international brand products, and it has been local products coming to the rescue. Daisy is taking this opportunity to urge the public to continue supporting local, even after the pandemic is over, because the local manufacturers have a great line of products. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Tourism Minister Dominic Fede highlighted the severe economic impact of COVID-19 on the tourism industry. He says the advisory by U.S. President Donald Trump to Americans to cease international travel has in effect put the final nail in the coffin of hotels on island. Already 15 hotels are closing down, and he anticipates that many more will soon be forced to close. Jacques Wooding reports.
In a previous statement, Prime Minister Alan Chastanet noted that COVID-19 continues to have an untold economic effect globally and particularly in St. Lucia. He lamented the closure of 3 major hotels on island as an indication of dark times to come for the island's tourism industry. According to Minister for Tourism Dominic Fede, those dark times have arrived, with the Ministry of Tourism recording the closure of 15 major hotels with expectations of many more to come, as the United States bans international travel. Employee layoffs are already well in the thousands.
Last time I addressed the fallout in the tourism industry, I reported that there was just one hotel which was facing imminent closure. Today, there are 15 and some 2,647 employees from the hotel industry. And then from the excursion sector, they are in the region of about 190 that have already been laid off. That brings a total from the tourism industry to some 2,784 in terms of total people who have been laid off. Hundreds more have been put on rotation, so it means that they're working less hours and are getting less pay. And then several hundreds have also received pay cuts in terms of the report that we have done at the Ministry of Tourism across some 22 of our main hotels.
With pre-existing travel bans on major markets such as China and the United Kingdom, Minister Fede projects a 6-month period of zero business and leisure arrivals on island. He deterred St. Lucia nationals from non-essential travel during this time, as it is likely that aircraft services will halt operations in the near future.
We anticipate, as hinted by the Prime Minister earlier, a significant reduction in our air capacity, although we have not received any official indication yet. We have received reductions from all of our airlines, and we don't believe that the airlines can continue to keep flying at a loss. So I think within the next 2 to 3 days, we will see a tremendous scaling down of the airlift capacity into our country. It is the hope that some lift will remain so that we can have access to some of the important markets in order for business and travel of St. Lucia nationals where necessary and essential.
On the heels of a record-breaking year in 2019, Minister Fede forebodes a complete plummet of figures in all industries dependent on tourism. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
Many banks have been advising customers to utilize electronic banking halls as much as possible in light of the ongoing local and regional developments related to COVID-19. Bank of St. Lucia has put in place many measures, including the suspending of ATM fees to aid with social distancing, which is now being echoed as the recommendation throughout the country. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, members of the public are being urged to practice social distancing. The local Bankers Association have come together and are pleading with their customers to make use of electronic banking halls to practice this protocol. Bank of St. Lucia has taken this initiative one step further by waiving all fees associated with their ATM. Bank of St. Lucia issued this statement, quote, "In the interest of the health and safety of its customers and staff, Bank of St. Lucia encourages its customers to use these channels, which include ATM, online and mobile banking services, and as such has suspended the 50 cents ATM fee on all off-site ATMs with immediate effect. The suspended fees applies to the ATMs located at Massy Stores Supermarket, Massy Stores Mega, Caribbean Cinemas, Providence Commercial Center, Blue Coral Mall, and the Bureau at the Hira Nora International Airport. In-branch ATMs are not subject to transaction fees. End quote. We spoke to 2 customers who had very positive responses to this initiative.
I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. It helps us to just continue and to feel safe as well. So thank you for that.
Why wouldn't that be a good idea? That's very kind of the banks to do that. It makes a lot of sense.
It is a good thing, at least, but then what you find that people could still go out there, use that ATM machine and still, if they're infected and touch that machine and somebody come there which is careless, could still get infected by that same ATM machine they're using. So I think the best thing that they should be doing is just make sure that place is being cleaned as often as possible.
The bank has further implemented in-branch measures to protect its customers and staff, including in-branch hand sanitizer dispensers, which customers are encouraged to use when entering and leaving the branches, the daily and frequent cleaning and disinfecting throughout all BOSL locations, and the increased frequency of cleaning and disinfecting of all customer service and customer contact areas throughout the day. The bank urges all its members and the general public to continue monitoring updates from the Ministry of Health as well as remain safe and vigilant concerning COVID-19.
Massy Stores has announced special opening hours for citizens who are more vulnerable to COVID-19. Managing Director Martin Dorville issued a statement to the press that senior citizens and differently abled persons can shop at Massy Stores during special hours. Jacques Wooding tells us more.
Managing Director of Massy Stores, Martin Dorville, has announced special plans to commission certain hours and outlets for the shopping needs of elderly and differently abled persons.
Plans are in place for Massy Stores to set out designated days and stores, hours within the day for our elderly and differently able to shop. Remember, our elderly and differently able persons are vulnerable. They are the ones that will be most and can be most impacted by the virus. So we have to limit the level of contact they have with the general public. So we are looking at the first hour of the day at certain stores. We're still in the planning phases of doing so, but it will be soon where our elderly and differently able can shop comfortably without that heightened fear of coming into contact with the general public.
Dorville says the entity is also looking to cater for the needs of special services personnel.
We are also looking in a similar fashion to cater for our essential services providers. We have those persons who are on the front line, the nurses, the police, the doctors, the firemen, the guys attending to ambulance services. They want to be able to take care of their families also. And as such, we're also dedicating in the other stores because we do not want them to cross with the elderly and differently. But in those other stores, the first hour of the day where they can shop freely, they can shop comfortably because they have to provide for their families.
He called for greater unity in persons exercising responsible shopping habits to ensure that supplies are available for the entire populace.
I urge our St. Lucian people, we can do this together. We have to think about each other. And if we work together, we can survive this.
A full list of these shopping times and locations will be released in the near future. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more after the break.